I'm John Scott, and this is Bluesman Vintage. I work here with my family and my best friends in the world. We build, repair, restore, and sell the finest musical instruments on the planet. If it's got strings, we work on it. If it don't have strings, we'll put them on it. Welcome to our world.
Here at Bluesman Vintage, we have a tradition I started 3 or 4 years ago for Emma, John's little daughter. I'd hide her a couple of these little chocolate eggs with the filling on the inside, and she'd love to hunt them and eat them. But one year, in fact 2 years ago I think, she asked me, Big Mike, where's my Easter eggs? And I said, well, Emma, I hid them for you. I don't know. She goes, I can't find them anywhere. So I got to digging around, and I found 3 of them in John's apron. So that just shows you how much he loves chocolate. He was denying the child the chocolate egg.
Scruggs is a very well-known country, bluegrass, and Americana artist. He comes from a long line of great musicians, including his grandfather, who's a legendary bluegrass banjo player, Earl Scruggs. He's got a great legacy of musicians behind him and a great amount of talent within him. Just getting the last of the gig funk off of it.
That's good.
Chris brought us a really nice arrangement of 4 vintage Fender guitars that have had the finish taken off of them in the past. The bass he brought us is really cool. It's a 1964 Fender Precision bass that was originally Lake Placid blue, which is a really pretty metallic blue color, and it was very rare for the time frame. Most likely it was custom ordered in this color because that was not available in the Fender catalog. Does that turn out okay?
Yeah.
And you know, I always go through and kind of set them up, make sure that they're set up well. The setup on a guitar is much like the tune-up of a car. It just ensures the guitar plays and sounds to its absolute highest potential. The setup is not always about the reading on the ruler, but more importantly, the reaction on the player's face.
Man, I should just start bringing these in for setups. Feels great.
Yeah, that's what we do. So that was good.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, and this one, you know, we've done. This is next. Now, I will say, we should have had this one done a couple of days ago. But as soon as I got it put together and started setting it up, Steven goes over and starts turning on the Ventures.
Yeah.
And I spent the next 2.5 hours just playing Ventures tunes on it. So we didn't
Yeah, that'll happen with these.
We didn't get that far. You know,
that will happen with these.
And that's a silent plug, so it's good.
Okay, cool. Feels great. Well, sweet.
Cool. Not everything that we film around the shop gets put into our episodes. Be sure to go to www.stringsattachedtv.com and check out more features and videos. Here at Bluesman Vintage, we play host to a guy named Ryan Nixon. He owns an entirely separate company called GuitarEffectsPedals.com. He's one of the nation's largest effects pedals dealers and carries more pedals and accessories than you can find anywhere else in the country. Generally, you'll just find Ryan behind his desk processing orders and getting his job done. But every once in a while, he'll say something completely hilarious and not even realize what he's done. Dude, is that a cream egg? Where'd you get that?
I found it in the parts bin.
It's egg hunt time.
I gotta go.
Yeah, it's no secret that I like to eat. And when I get hungry, sometimes I can be really hard to work with. Well, Big Mike discovered this a few years ago and started hiding cream eggs around my shop. And every once in a while, you would just discover one, and it made me in a much better mood. And it's become a tradition every year. And this year is the first year we've done it in the new facility. So it's going to be interesting. There's more places to hide, more places to look, and more employees there to compete with.
Dude, I'm gonna win this year, Mark.
Not if I can get to it.
You can always tell who the goofballs are here at Bluesman by seeing who participates in these ridiculous events. Having been on a SWAT team, you'd think Dave would be more into searching and hunting out Easter eggs with us, but also being diabetic, I don't think he really cares.
Are you not gonna get in on the hunt?
I'm diabetic, man. I can't eat that crap.
Not the point. The guy who finds the most gets the bragging rights for the whole year. Put a lock on this one? Hot, cold?
No, I don't know.
Gotta be a deal something.
Chris brought us a really nice arrangement of 4 vintage Fender guitars that have had the finish taken off of them in the past. This happens occasionally, and we're going to restore them. He brought us 3 vintage blonde Fenders and a Lake Placid blue precision bass. When we use the term blonde, what we're referring to is a type of opaque white color that has a little bit of a yellowish tint to it. It was very pretty, and it came on a lot of Fender guitars from the 50s and 60s. We'll let you play it.
Okay.
And then we'll put it all back
I
together.
love this guitar. Yeah, feels good all in all.
Okay, let's do some aging.
Looks great.
The other cool thing about having an Easter egg hunt every year is that it helps us do some spring cleaning here in the shop, because we typically end up finding missing tools and parts that we've been looking for weeks on end.
Where's that wire brush?
Oh, yeah, actually, put that in the toolbox. Seriously, put that in the toolbox. Seriously, put that in the toolbox.
We've been looking for that for days.
I need that too.
One of the biggest problems we have with the Easter egg hunt every year is that Mike never remembers where he hides all the eggs. So we usually end up finding one in around August.
Mark, how many do you have?
6.
You have 6, or did you set them here?
I put them there. I have
Okay.
2 in my pocket that I intend to keep.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get a final count.
All right.
That's fine that you keep them. We just want to know how many are left in the shop.
I don't know
This
about
happened
any.
last year.
Right.
One went completely MIA. We never did find it. Because you couldn't remember if you had hidden like
I don't
6
even
or
remember right now where I hit them at all.
So
So at some point when we're over there messing around, somebody's gonna get a snake.
Somebody's gonna get a snake.
9, 10, counting Ryan. There's 2 missing.
Darn your hide mice.
Any ideas?
I forgot. That was so early this morning when I hit them.
The hardest part about working on such expensive vintage instruments is not the liability of their value. It's about knowing what the customer wants as the end result and making sure that our vision for the aging process matches up with theirs. What I was probably going to do with it, and and it's pretty much what we did at the others. It was just we go through, we look to see what's there.
Yeah.
You know, the dings and chips that were already there, and because that's where the natural wear has happened. Restoring vintage instruments is a lot like solving a mystery. You look at each chip and ding or scratch in the wood, and you can use those to follow the clues and tell the story of where this instrument has been.
This was weird. I don't know, somebody with like, the guy who painted it black, which was in the 80s, I guess. I got the guitar just a couple years ago, but apparently he was a metal player, so I wonder if that was like a studded armband or something that hit against there.
Yeah, something definitely got it there. And that's one of those, because I was looking at that, and I almost wanted to fill it a little, because I was like, that doesn't look natural, but it was there, so
Yeah.
it did happen.
It had to have been like a studded armband. So the guy I bought it in New York in the early 90s from a guy who'd had it since the mid 80s and it painted it black. So that must be some 80s metal guy in New York.
We had a bass in here I just left last night that had wear all along the inside of this horn.
Yeah.
The P bass. And I was like, what in the world would cause that? And talking to the owner, he got it from a guy named Billy Bass Nelson, who was the original bass player with George Clinton.
Right.
And he says, man, he goes, Billy told me that when he was playing with Funkadelic and stuff, you know, he wore these big, like, bracelets, and it was from, all the slaps that he was doing, just beat the finish off inside of the horn. And it was one of those bizarre placement things. So, and you can say stop whenever you desire.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a real heavy relic.
I was going to check and make sure I didn't miss any really obvious dings. All right, Chris, if you could, here's your seat.
Okay.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Your logs are expensive, man.
Emma's my 8-year-old daughter, and she is a chip off the old block. She's just like me. She loves cream eggs as much as anybody. However, usually she's not here when the egg hunt starts, and she gets really mad when we don't save her some. We'll put this one up for Emma.
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, hey, baby. How was school today?
It was good.
Good. What'd you do today?
Well, did I miss the egg hunt?
Yeah, I'm sorry you did.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? If you don't get all pouty about it, I might have something for you.
Thanks, Daddy.
You're welcome, baby. I love you.
I love you, too.
Okay.
Can I have it now?
Just don't tell Mommy. This is why I love working here at Bluesman Vintage. We've got a great crew of guys that work hard every day, but we also find ways to keep it fun and interesting so that we don't drive each other crazy.
Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity hip. Here come Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Everybody knows that Easter's on its way.